last week, Puneet and I, we had a conversation about bliss, and it has been a very, very blissful conversation. So it is just one of the last videos. You can check it out and give it a listen. It's all about the bliss that is your most natural state. And we often relate bliss to something outside of us. We think when we reach that goal, when we experience this or that, the bliss is what will be there, what we will experience. So we condition it to a certain circumstance, we condition it to a person, we condition it to something outside of us. And this is actually where the disconnection is happening from it, because the truth is you are bliss. This is your most natural state. And even though we think it is something extraordinary to experience, it is not. It actually is your most natural state. So after last week's conversation, I felt called to have, because it was very blissful. We were both like blissed out and like, ooh, we were just flying high. And it was all about reminding us, reminding you that this is who you truly are. But what I just shared, very often we condition these states to something outside of us. And it really is not about anything outside of you. You can be the most blissful, in the most blissful state when everything is falling apart. And that requires awareness. It requires your choice to remember that this is actually the truth. The truth is that you're a bliss. So after last week's conversation, I felt called to do another conversation about the dark. And I would not call the darkness the opposite of the light of the bliss. The way I experience it, the way I see it, it is just part of the whole. There is bliss for you to be experienced in the darkness. But this requires that you remember in these moments where the darkness tries to take over, that you are bliss no matter what. You are bliss no matter what. So then it is no longer about resisting these situations, these moments where there is discomfort. It is all about you knowing that you are bliss no matter what. And the more you remember, the more you embody, the less effect it actually has on you. So then it's no longer about the problems you think you have, that you see out there in your world. It's all about you then, remembering who you truly are, no matter what. And you are bliss, and you are infinite. So there is an infinite way, there are infinite ways of experiencing bliss. We often have an idea how bliss has to look like, that we're very high on life, that we're very excited. And yes, that is one form of bliss. Another form of bliss is just stillness, softness, just being with it, and really feeling your heart wide open, just because you are. Another way, another form of experiencing bliss is when there might be something out there that really activates something within you. Let's say anger, frustration, sadness. So if you no longer make it about what you think it is, if you make it about you remembering who you truly are, then any experience is blissful, because you are bliss. So then this is how you can shift every experience. By remembering, by connecting with your inner knowing that your most natural state is bliss, and that you have the power every moment to return back to that state, no matter what you're experiencing out there. And from that state, when you remember that you're pure bliss, you're no longer identifying yourself through lack or through fear or through suffering. Because you know bliss takes on, because you know you are bliss, and bliss takes on different forms. So then all I want you to remember is to connect with that inner knowing, and to not make it too complicated, to not overthink it, to really just connect with that knowing. And that knowing is there. It is within you. It is there. It is there. So that it's no longer about you needing to do certain things to experience bliss. It's about you being bliss and you being guided from your most natural state, from who you truly are. So this in turn means then that you have desires, that you have an idea about how you want to experience your life, about how you want to experience your business, about how you want to experience yourself. And this means then that you're going for it without any compromises. You showing up for it without thinking that you have to figure out how you get there, without doubting, because this is where the disconnection happens. This is where you start feeling the uncomfort, the pain, which is part of the experience to a certain degree. When you start connecting with these old stories, and these old stories are just a reflection of your current reality. So then all you have to do is you have to remember. And to make it all about remembering, and to make it less about what you have to do next, because then there is no next. Then there is you showing up as you. And you showing up as you means that you always know what to do. But not from an analytical perspective. Because analytical often means disconnection. You trying to figure things out. You trying to fix things. You trying to solve a problem where there actually is no problem. Where there is just an open door, and all you got to do is to walk through that door into that new room, into that new reality, and stay in there. Not go back, walk back out again, and looking over there, how that room over there looks like, how that reality over there is like. You gotta stay in there. So then this is the game that you're playing. And when you're in that new room, in that new reality, that new space, where there is an expansion happening for you, because that is just who you are. That is just the most natural thing, to expand, to experience more, to experience an elevated version of you, to experience an elevated life. This is the truth. Because you are an infinite being. Why should you limit yourself? So then it's about you staying connected, you staying in that room and not walking back, not looking back, not finding reasons, not finding doubts, like really looking through the eyes of that person that is in that new space. And make it all about that, showing up as it, knowing that you are it right now. Knowing that this space, this reality is already created. All you got to do is you got to make it manifest. How do you make it manifest? With who you are, being the match for it. Looking through the eyes as it. And then play with it. Have fun. Have fun. Be creative. And just give yourself the richest experience ever. Stop making it about what you think it is about. Because it is not about that desire. It is all about you experiencing more of you. You experiencing yourself in an elevated state. That's what it is about. And this is just the most natural thing. But you gotta dare to step out of that room, to step out of that space that you know so well. And you gotta open the door, step in, and stay in that new space that is cracking you wide open. That is reminding you of your truth. And then there's nothing for you to do than staying connected. And from you staying connected with you, with that elevated version of you, choosing that you're it now, the actions will automatically come to you. So then there is actually no need to be afraid. Because you know you are in the process of experiencing it right now. And all you're doing is you're making it more visible until it becomes visible to you. And until that moment, you gotta show up as it. Moment after moment after moment. And that's the journey, that's the experience of experiencing yourself fully, giving yourself the permission to go for what you're truly longing for without any compromises, because you can have it all, you can be it all, but you gotta show up for it. No one else can do that for you. It's all about you.